Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of Show Me Your Junk. Don't worry, I heard you, and I'm bringing a highly requested tutorial today, the adorable newspaper print pots. Now, I've been using a lot of lavender. Today we're gonna switch it up just a little, bring in some fun spring colors and some lemons, because this video is part of a spring collaboration with my friends over in the Jamie Ray Vintage Business Coaching Group. There's a playlist linked in my description box below. Make sure you click that next. It's gonna have a ton of amazing creators in it. Go check out their videos and let's keep growing this DIY community we've got started. All right, let's go make some pretty things. There were a couple of comments from people who weren't able to find any vintage newspaper, but wanted to make these little flower pots. So today we're gonna use some coffee and boiling water, and we are going to make new paper look old. Let's go into my office. I'm gonna show you a couple of different options for paper that you probably have laying around at home. This is the vintage newspaper I've been using on the flower pots. Look at that advertising. It is just beautiful. And then another thing I love to use is this Sears and Roebuck catalog. I think I got it off of Facebook Marketplace for around $5, and I have used many, many pages, and obviously I still have many, many more. So I pulled a couple of those I'm gonna use. And then for options at home, I bet a lot of you have newspaper laying around, and then also gift wrap. So this is a medium weight gift wrap. It's in a blue ticking stripe. But again, you guys, let your imagination run wild and use whatever you have. Any brand of coffee is fine. This is my favorite brand. It's what I drink. It's all I had at home, so it hurt my heart to use this much, but it's okay. All in the name of crafting, right? I'm gonna pour the boiling water over the coffee, cover that, and let it steep for, about 10 or 15 minutes. While our coffee is steeping in the kitchen, let's go ahead and get our little pots ready. So when I'm doing these for resale, I generally use the little terracotta pots. I pick them up a lot at the thrift store, and of course you can get them at your local department store fairly cheap. Another great option that I use are the little empty containers from Dollar Tree. These are the containers the succulents come in. I take the succulents out a lot and make prettier arrangements. And of course I don't want to throw these away. They've already got the foam inside. They're perfect. I always keep my leftover bits of floral foam. These little pieces work perfectly for these tiny pots, and I just use a razor knife to cut them and hot glue them inside the pot. That will make sure that the floral doesn't fall out after my arrangements are done. Okay, we're down in the garage. I thought about doing this in the tub, but I just cleaned it and I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. So I put down a drop cloth. We've got our drying rack. We're going to start dipping the newspaper. The longer you let it sit, the darker it's going to get, and then we will hang it on the rack to dry. I carefully removed the paper from the coffee mixture and hung it up to dry. I let it dry for a couple hours and took it back upstairs. Vintage newspaper, what we started with, end result after the antiquing process. I think we nailed it. What about you? I ran a low heat, no steam iron over each piece to help smooth out the wrinkles, and it improved the texture. It made it more pliable and easy to work with. I'm going to put together quite a few arrangements today. Some will be available on my website, upcycledbybri.com, and as well as my retail booths here in Topeka, Kansas. The links for everything will be down in the description box below. Y'all, I can tell I'm going to be all about the lemons this spring. I used mini lemons and greenery to create these tiny little topiaries. I will link the lemons in my Amazon shop in the description box below. All right, all of our little varieties are put together. Of course, I'm making quite a few. I'll load up some on my website if you will go in my booth, and of course I'll have to keep a couple. Now we will wrap them in the newspaper. Place one bead of glue on the bottom and then one bead on the side of the container and start folding the paper up. I just keep spinning my little pot, gluing, folding it up, and working my way around. Once you have everything folded around, you're gonna have something that looks kind of like this. Then I just go through and put a little bit of glue in the creases until it is more secure. I placed the tiniest drop of hot glue here and secured the string in the back. It makes it so much easier to work with. And there you have it. So simple, affordable, and adorable. Now look at this combo of the navy blue ticking stripe with that bright yellow lemon. I am in love. This is totally gonna be what I rock for spring. Time for some IOD stamps. I've got the Queen Bee stamp. I'm using the tiniest bee. I have my IOD brayer and my blue IOD ink. I'm carefully rolling the brayer across my stamp. I will stamp it on to the brown bag, just like on the topiaries, and then I will fold the bag onto the pot, just like the rest. All right, now that my work is done, it's time for me to redo my tablescape. I'm pulling in copper, teal jars, lemons, and greenery, layering it in and just playing around, having fun. This is my favorite part. Leave me a comment below which one of the paper pots are your favorite. It started with newspaper, then I added in the ticking stripe. I absolutely love both, but I would have to say the lemons here with the ticking stripe is my favorite. And if you look up, the tablescape works perfectly with the bump pans I hung. I stuck a couple here in the living room with these lavender topiaries that we made before and rearranged my coffee table a bit. A couple finished off my bathroom. You'll have to stay tuned for my complete home tour to see the rest of these areas though. Make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell to all so you don't miss any of my new videos coming out soon. I did get a few cute little pots over to the Adams location today, so if you're local in Topeka, you can find them over there. Of course, if you purchase on my website, you can choose local pickup as well. Here's a few pictures of my booth all staged up. I hope today's video totally inspired you to start creating some beautiful spring decor for your home. And of course, if creating is not your thing, you can find these cute flower pots on my website, upcycledbybri.com. Also, check me out over on social media and share this video with a friend who you think may enjoy it as well. If you haven't clicked the notification bell, make sure you do so you don't miss any of my new videos. On Sunday, we're going to go ahead and keep rolling with this spring thing. I think I'm going to bust out my Cricut. I've got a bunch of wood, a bunch of metal, some more glass items, so make sure you don't miss out. Until then, I will see you later. Bye, friends.